Well, this week, Melbourne is hosting a three-day international academic symposium dedicated to the global cultural and economic impact of the one and only Taylor Swift.
Dr. Emma Whatman is a research fellow in gender studies at the University of Melbourne and the convener of the so-called Swift-Posium, and joins us now. Welcome to the program.
Thanks so much for having me.
Well, firstly, Taylor Swift is far more than just a chart-topping juggernaut, isn't she? She has had an impact across so many areas of global discussion lately.
Oh, absolutely. Look, we really think it's important to be studying her as more than just a pop star, as she often is written off to be. You know, she encouraged over 35,000 young people to register to vote in the 2020 US election. She's added $5 billion to the US economy with the Eras tour last year, and she's set to add, I think, $1.2 billion to the Victorian economy with her tours coming up next week.
They're eye-watering figures. So what are you hoping to achieve through the Swift-Posium?
So look, we're really hoping to encourage people to actually take her seriously. We know that culture, pop culture, celebrity culture does hold a mirror up to society, and we know that it shapes the kinds of conversations that we're having about things like gender, race, the environment, but also art, music and the like. And so we're really just hoping to take her as seriously as we need to try to understand the impact that she actually has on all of these areas. And that's really demonstrated in the breadth of academic disciplines that are coming together to study her this week.
Yeah, give us a sense of that, of the different disciplines that are coming together, because I imagine there'll be quite a bit of pop culture and the arts, but it's economics, gender studies, which of course is one of your areas of expertise as well.
Yeah, we actually were a little bit surprised that there weren't as many pop culture or fan studies papers. Actually, we've had so many coming from, as you mentioned, economics. We have the Swiftonomics panel. We do have panels that are looking at urban planning, so what the Eras tour does to major cities and how we can plan for these major events moving forward. We have legal scholars looking at the impact that she's had on sexual assault cases after suing for a symbolic $1 last year. And then, yeah, papers even coming from medicine. You know, we've got some academics from the Heart Institute at Monash University who are going to demonstrate CPR techniques to the beat of Taylor Swift songs.
That is incredible. That's an amazing array of different discussions that are going to be had. And there's a point you made earlier that Taylor Swift is now being seen as much more than just a musician. Do you think that this conference is about perhaps correcting maybe how academic institutions have looked at people that are in roles such as Taylor Swift's?
Yeah, absolutely. And look, that was part of the reason why we came together to do this conference, because for a lot of us who do work in this space or work in, femininities-based research, we actually are usually quite dismissed by certain academic fields and disciplines. And so this is an attempt for us to, as you said, correct that narrative, but also to encourage people to take this seriously and to take these quite famous women and everything that they're doing quite seriously as well.
And just this week we've seen an extraordinary amount of reporting around Taylor Swift, around all aspects, particularly of her visit, even questions to the new Reserve Bank Governor, Michelle Bullock, where she referred to it, I think, as Swiftonomics in terms of the economic impact. How have you observed all of that?
Look, it's been quite overwhelming for us. When we first planned this conference, we thought, oh, maybe this might be, a one-day event, and it has absolutely gone viral and taken off. And yeah, we're just seeing the significance of that in terms of how much interest there is from all of these interested parties, including, the governor, as you did say. But we're observing it with total awe, but excitement, and it's helping us prove that what we're doing is actually worthwhile.
And you touched on some of the areas where you've had papers and discussions that will be happening over the coming days. Gender and feminism more broadly are some of your areas of research. So how have you been looking at Taylor Swift, and what are you particularly focusing on?
So I'm actually, I'm quite critical of Taylor Swift in a lot of ways. I am a fan of her.
Are you a Swiftie?
I am a Swiftie, thanks to my sister. She's actually a much bigger Swiftie than I am, but she kind of brought me into the music. So I am going to the concert. I am very excited. But my research is quite critical of particular versions of feminism that maybe aren't as political or as structural or as radical as we need them to be. And so I'm actually approaching Taylor Swift as an example of that, and thinking about some of the things that she's doing and perhaps some of the things that she could be doing a bit better.
So as in she is an icon of feminism, but perhaps not going as far as you think she could or should.
Yeah, she's an icon of what we would consider to be popular feminism, sometimes, might be referred to as white feminism. And we're kind of thinking about, well, what are the more structural or what are the more critical or radical things that she could be doing to further the feminist cause? So that's where my research comes, and that's what I'll be talking about at the conference.
And so what are you expecting to come out of this? You've mentioned that the array, urban planning, legal, medicine, broader health discussions and economics as well. What do you think people will take away over the coming 3 days?
Look, I think that there's been so much attention, both in the media and in public conversations, but also a lot of academic attention. So we've already got a book that will be coming out based on an academic book based on this research that we're seeing at the conference, and we actually we're being a lot of journals and a lot of other publishing houses are kind of reaching out to us and saying, oh, this is something that we would like to publish. So we actually feel that we're adding quite significantly to the academic discussion around, as you've mentioned, pop culture, but also things like economics, gender studies, the environment, and so on. So, yeah, a lot of great things.
I hope that book is titled Shake It Off or Anti-Hero. Dr. Emma Whatman, Research Fellow in Gender Studies at the University of Melbourne. Thank you and good luck with the conference.
Thank you so much.
It's really fascinating with what Emma was saying there, because you think, you start off as a young person just wanting to write songs and maybe get a hit on the radio or something. Taylor Swift has gone way beyond all of that, obviously. And then the world wants you to behave a certain way. You're not feminist enough, you're not environmentally friendly enough, you're not political enough, or, you're
too
exactly, or you're the other way,
yeah.
right? And so it would be a very, very hard job to do if you really just went out there wanting to just write music.
Yeah, and
right?
the complexities that are layered into that, and the watching every word and everything that she wears, and it's quite extraordinary. I hadn't even thought about the urban planning,
but it makes sense.
Or the law or medicine. Or, economics was an obvious one.
Yeah,
but, it's fascinating.
It is indeed.